Welcome to the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. Are you a passionate believer in liberty and democracy? Are you concerned about the growing infiltration of Marxist and socialist ideology in our politics, media, and culture? This podcast was created by a citizen of the United States who was born and raised in Romania, a socialist country in Eastern Europe, during the 1970s and 1980s. As more and more members of our youth pivot towards Marxism, socialism, and communism in the United States of America and beyond, now, more than ever, it is important to focus on liberty and democracy, instead of the alluring Marxist and socialist trends which, as history repeatedly has shown, lead to repressive authoritarian regimes. Marxism does not lead to utopia either in the United States of America, or anywhere else in the world. Let us question governments, policies, and manufactured social progressivism. Let us go back to the times when it was okay for us to agree to disagree.
Understanding leftist propaganda and its impact on American youth. In today's society, it is crucial for young individuals to be critical thinkers and able to discern the information they are presented with. However, one of the challenges that American youth face is the prevalence of leftist propaganda in various forms of media. Leftist propaganda is a type of persuasive communication that aims to promote certain political ideologies and beliefs. This content often targets young people, shaping their views and influencing their opinions on important social issues. What is leftist propaganda? Leftist propaganda encompasses a range of techniques used to manipulate and persuade individuals towards leftist ideologies. This can include misleading information, biased reporting, and emotional manipulation. It is essential for students to recognize these tactics and understand how they can impact their perceptions and beliefs. The role of media in indoctrination. Media plays a significant role in the indoctrination of American youth through the dissemination of leftist propaganda. Television, social media, and news outlets often present information in a way that favors leftist ideologies, shaping the worldview of young viewers. It is important for students to critically analyze the content they consume and question the underlying messages being conveyed. Education and ideological influence. The education system also plays a crucial role in indoctrinating American youth with leftist propaganda. From textbooks to classroom discussions, students are exposed to biased information that promotes specific political agendas. It is essential for students to approach their education with a critical eye and seek out diverse perspectives to form well-rounded opinions. Combating indoctrination through critical thinking. To combat the influence of leftist propaganda, students must develop strong critical thinking skills. By questioning information, evaluating sources, and considering multiple viewpoints, young individuals can resist indoctrination and form their own informed opinions. Encouraging open dialogue and respectful debate can also help students engage with differing perspectives in a constructive manner. Empowering American youth. Empowering American youth to think independently and critically is essential in combating the impact of leftist propaganda. By fostering a culture of intellectual curiosity, encouraging diverse perspectives, and promoting media literacy, students can navigate the complex landscape of information with confidence and discernment. In conclusion, understanding leftist propaganda and its influence on American youth is vital for students in today's society. By being aware of the tactics used in persuasive communication, critically analyzing information, and developing strong critical thinking skills, young individuals can resist indoctrination and form their own well-informed opinions. Empowering students to think independently and engage with diverse perspectives is key to shaping a generation of thoughtful, informed citizens. Here are some specific examples of leftist propaganda techniques that are commonly used in the media and education system. Biased reporting. One common technique used in leftist propaganda is biased reporting. This involves presenting information in a way that favors leftist ideologies while ignoring or downplaying opposing viewpoints. For example, a news outlet may only focus on the positive aspects of a leftist policy or movement, while neglecting to mention any potential drawbacks or criticisms. Emotional manipulation. Leftist propaganda often employs emotional manipulation to sway the opinions of viewers or readers. This can involve using emotional language, imagery, or personal stories to evoke sympathy or outrage in support of a particular cause. For instance, a documentary may use heartbreaking stories of individuals affected by a social issue to garner support for leftist policies. Misleading information. Another common tactic is the use of misleading information to promote leftist ideologies. This can include cherry-picking data, taking statistics out of context, or presenting half-truths to support a particular narrative. For instance, a social media post may use statistics on income inequality to advocate for socialist economic policies without providing a comprehensive analysis of the issue. Omission of facts. Leftist propaganda may also involve the omission of key facts or information that could challenge the narrative being presented. By selectively choosing which information to include or exclude, propagandists can manipulate the perception of an issue. For example, a history textbook may omit important historical events or perspectives that do not align with leftist ideals. Labeling and name-calling. Another technique used in leftist propaganda is labeling and name-calling. This involves attaching negative labels to individuals or groups who hold opposing views in order to discredit them. For example, referring to critics of leftist policies as racist, sexist, or fascist without addressing their arguments is a common tactic used to silence dissent. By being aware of these specific examples of leftist propaganda techniques, students can better identify and critically analyze the information they are presented with in the media and education system. Developing the skills to recognize these tactics can help young individuals resist indoctrination and form their own informed opinions.
Understanding leftist propaganda and Marxist indoctrination in American higher education. In recent years, there has been much discussion and debate surrounding the presence of leftist propaganda and Marxist indoctrination in American higher education institutions. It is important for students to critically analyze and understand these concepts to navigate their academic journey effectively. Defining leftist propaganda. Leftist propaganda refers to the dissemination of information, ideas, or beliefs that are aligned with leftist or liberal political ideologies. This can manifest in various forms, such as biased teaching materials, one-sided classroom discussions, or guest speakers promoting specific political agendas. Identifying Marxist indoctrination. Marxist indoctrination, on the other hand, stems from the teachings of Karl Marx, a philosopher and economist who advocated for a classless society. In academic settings, Marxist indoctrination may involve promoting Marxist principles, such as the critique of capitalism and the call for a socialist revolution. Effects on academic discourse. The presence of leftist propaganda and Marxist indoctrination in higher education can influence academic discourse and critical thinking. Students may be exposed to limited perspectives, hindering their ability to engage in open and balanced discussions on complex issues. Navigating ideological biases. It is crucial for students to approach academic content with a critical eye and a willingness to explore diverse viewpoints. By actively seeking out different perspectives and engaging in respectful dialogue, students can counteract the influence of ideological biases in higher education. Empowering student voices. Ultimately, understanding leftist propaganda and Marxist indoctrination empowers students to think independently, challenge prevailing narratives, and contribute meaningfully to academic discourse. By cultivating a culture of intellectual curiosity and open-mindedness, students can shape a more inclusive and intellectually vibrant higher education environment. In conclusion, by critically examining and engaging with diverse perspectives, students can navigate the complexities of leftist propaganda and Marxist indoctrination in American higher education with confidence and intellectual rigor. It is through this process of critical thinking and active participation that students can truly harness the transformative power of education. Experience. I have observed various examples of leftist propaganda and Marxist indoctrination in classes and course materials in higher education. Here are a few specific examples. Biased reading materials. Some course readings tend to lean heavily towards leftist perspectives, presenting only one side of the argument without providing a balanced view. This can lead to students being influenced by a particular ideology without critically analyzing alternative viewpoints. Guest speakers with specific agendas. Occasionally, guest speakers invited to campus events may promote specific political agendas that align with leftist ideologies. While it is important to expose students to diverse perspectives, it is equally essential to ensure that these perspectives are presented in a balanced and unbiased manner. Classroom discussions. In some cases, classroom discussions may be dominated by Marxist ideas, such as the critique of capitalism and the advocacy for socialist principles. While these discussions can be valuable in exploring different ideologies, it is crucial for educators to encourage a diversity of perspectives and foster open dialogue among students. Assignment prompts. Assignments or essay prompts that inherently promote leftist or Marxist viewpoints without offering an opportunity for students to critically analyze and challenge these perspectives can also contribute to indoctrination. It is important for educators to design assignments that encourage critical thinking and the exploration of diverse viewpoints. These examples highlight the importance of critically analyzing course materials and classroom discussions to ensure that students are exposed to a wide range of perspectives and are encouraged to think independently and critically about the information presented to them. Here are more specific details on how course materials or guest speakers may promote leftist or Marxist viewpoints in an unbalanced way. Course materials. Biased selection. Course readings may predominantly feature works by authors with leftist or Marxist ideologies, while neglecting to include perspectives from other political viewpoints. This can create a one-sided narrative that reinforces specific ideologies without presenting a diverse range of opinions. Language and framing. The language and framing used in course materials can also exhibit bias towards leftist or Marxist viewpoints. For example, terms like social justice or income inequality may be presented in a positive light without exploring potential criticisms or alternative perspectives. Speakers. Lack of diverse perspectives. Guest speakers invited to address students may predominantly represent leftist or Marxist ideologies, leading to a lack of diverse perspectives being presented. This can result in students being exposed to a narrow range of ideas without the opportunity to engage with contrasting viewpoints. Advocacy over education. Some guest speakers may prioritize advocating for specific political agendas over fostering academic discourse and critical thinking. This can create an environment where students are more likely to be persuaded by a particular ideology without being encouraged to question or analyze it critically. Classroom discussions. Dominance of Marxist ideologies. In classroom discussions, Marxist ideologies may take precedence over other perspectives, leading to a disproportionate focus on critiques of capitalism and calls for socialist reforms. This can limit students' exposure to alternative economic and political theories, hindering their ability to engage in balanced and nuanced discussions. Echo chambers. Without a deliberate effort to encourage diverse viewpoints and respectful debate, classroom discussions can devolve into echo chambers where only certain ideologies are validated, stifling the development of critical thinking skills and intellectual curiosity. Recognizing these specific ways in which leftist propaganda and Marxist indoctrination can manifest in course materials and guest speaker presentations, educators and students can strive to promote a more balanced and intellectually diverse academic environment that values critical analysis and open dialogue.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Liberty and Democracy podcast. We hope you found today's content interesting, intriguing, and useful. You're invited to join us again, as our podcast episodes are now published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In the meanwhile, don't forget to stop by our website at www.libertarian.center or our Liberty and Democracy YouTube channel at bit.ly/democracy videos.